The following episode is intended for mature audiences only. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to barrypirro's Haunted Happenings podcast, where I share in-depth stories of the paranormal, the supernatural, and the unexplained. So turn off your lights, sit back, and prepare to be scared. It's Christmas morning, and I'm putting a few finishing touches on the Christmas tree. As I look out the window to the backyard, snow is falling, making everything look like Christmas. The presents are all under the tree, and this year promises to be the best Christmas ever. The reason this one is so special is because of what happened last year around this time. Now, you're probably not going to believe this story, and I can't blame you. I mean, if someone told it to me, I wouldn't believe it either. But it's true, every single word of it. Some might even call it a Christmas miracle. I just call it fate. It all started last year on Christmas Eve. I was living with my girlfriend Michelle in a one-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn and working as an IT guy at a startup pharmaceutical company. Between her job and mine, we just scraped by every month, but we were happy. This particular Christmas, I had been putting off getting a Christmas tree for about 2 weeks, even though Michelle gave me friendly reminders every day. Like I said, it was the night before Christmas, and I was heading home from work when she called to remind me yet again. Yeah, I know I said I'd pick up a tree this week. What? No, I didn't forget. Okay, I did forget. So kill me, all right? Yeah, I guess killing me the day before Christmas wouldn't be such a swift idea, would it? I mean, just think of all the presents you'd miss getting from me. What? You sneak! How did you find them? Okay, now that's not fair. Under the bed was the best possible place to hide your gifts. Our apartment is so damn small, where the hell else could I hide them? Oh yeah, the tree. All right, listen, I'm on my way home now. I noticed a place over near St. Anne's Church that's selling them. I'll stop by there right now. It's right up ahead. And it's probably better I waited until the last minute. I'm sure I'll get a good deal on one this late. I mean, how many people buy a tree on Christmas Eve, right? Okay, rub it in. You're right. Only assholes like me who keep forgetting to buy a tree get a great deal. But I promise you the biggest, most beautiful tree you've ever seen. In fact, it'll be so big we'll have to cut a hole in the ceiling to make it fit. All right, I'll get a normal-sized tree, but I guarantee it will be abnormally amazing. I'll have it set up by the time you get home from work. Promise. Okay, I gotta go. I'm there now. I'll see you later. Okay, love you too. Bye. Hey, good timing. I was just about to close up and get my ass to hell home. It's damn cold out here, even with this burn barrel fire going. And I'm coming down with a cold. Merry Christmas, or, Christmas Eve. Looks like I made it just in time. Yeah, like I said, I'm just about to close up. But listen, I know we don't have many trees left, so I'll take half off any one you want. Just make it fast, okay? I've been here since like 10 this morning, and I just want to get the hell home. Thanks, that's great. I promise I'll be real fast. My girlfriend and I have a tiny apartment, so I just need something small. Just give me a minute. Hey, how about this one right here? Perfect for a small apartment. That's nice, but my girlfriend told me to get a Douglas fir. No problem. Go check over there by the shed. We got just a few left. Hey, wait a minute. What about this one right here? What a beautiful tree. I've never seen a more gorgeous Christmas tree in my whole life. No. You don't want that tree. Let me show you the ones out back by the shed. We got some real nice ones back there. No, this is a real beauty. My girlfriend will love it. I'll take it. Listen, buddy, you don't want that tree. I got it with the first shipment. The needles are all dropping. It's dried out. You don't want that tree. Here, how about this one? It's marked $80. I'll give it you for $20. I'm looking at the needles on this one, and none of them are coming out, and it doesn't look dry. It looks like it was just cut down today. I'm telling you, this is the most beautiful Christmas tree I've ever seen. This is definitely the one. For the last time, don't take that tree, okay? Take any other tree on the lot, just not that one. But why not? I can't say, but whatever. If you want it, it's yours. Just take it. It's on me. You mean I can have it? Sure, it's yours. Just let me wrap it up for you and put it on top of your car. Jeez Louise. All set. I tied it down real good, so you won't have any trouble with it. Merry Christmas now. Gee, thanks. Listen, I can't take a beautiful tree like that for free. Here, let me give you something for it. Here's $20. Oh, no. I can't take money for it. I mean, well, it's on me, okay? But just one thing. Careful with it, okay? Give it lots of water. Put it in a nice place. You hear? Yeah, I'll be careful with it. I mean, I'll take good care of it. Okay, well, I'm out of here. Hey, just remember what I said. Take real good care of it, all right? I wouldn't want anything to happen, okay? Merry Christmas to you. And good luck. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Okay, now just let me straighten the stand. And voila. Oh my God, that looks great. I can't wait till Michelle gets home. She's going to love this tree. Oh, I almost forgot. The lights are down in the storage room. Damn, I really don't feel like going down there. But, hey, buddy, can you move me just a couple of feet away from the radiator? My ass feels like it's on fire here. What the? Come on, I don't have all day here. And while you're at it, you got any gin? I can use something a little stronger than this filthy water you put my trunk in. Hey, what the hell's going on? Did you just talk? What, are you a friggin' idiot? Of course I talked. There's just the two of us here. Who the hell else could it be? Now move me away from this heater, all right? I'm burning up here. No. This can't be. I must be losing my mind. I must be... Okay, the hell with you. I'll do it myself. It takes a lot out of me, and I can't move fast. But here goes. Christ, this stand weighs a friggin' ton. There. Okay, good as new. Listen, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to call the police and what? Tell them that your Christmas tree was just talking to you and that it moved? That's a good one. Do me a favor. Call them now. Go on. I really want to hear this. I'm getting out of here. Calm down. What are you getting all bent out of shape for? I'm not going to hurt you. Not if you don't make me. Now sit down and I'll tell you all about it, okay? No, this is insane. I'm leaving. Not so fast, buddy. I can't move fast, but I can hurt you. Bad. Hey, I'm warning you. Get away from that door, okay? All right, you asked for it. Ouch! Fuck. Sorry, but you gave me no choice. You see, these aren't just ordinary pine needles, as you just felt. They're sharp as knives. And I didn't even hit you as hard as I could. Just imagine what had happened to you if I shot, say, 30 or 40 at you all at once. Now sit down, shut up, and let me tell you how I got into this mess. Then once we understand one another, I got a deal to make with you. What's your name? My name's Grant. Okay, Grant, just sit the hell down and listen. You ever hear of a guy named Kingpin Louie? You mean the gangster? Yeah, that's right, the gangster. But not just any gangster. He's the head of what you'd call the DeMarco crime family. I just call him Godfather. You see, Kingpin Louie was my boss, and I was his bodyguard. Now, this is going back a ways. I'm talking like 15 years ago. Like I was saying, I was his bodyguard, and I had a bunch of guys under me who helped keep Louie safe from the other families who were always trying to knock him off. I'm sure you've seen those mafia movies, so you know how it is. So one night, Louis says to me, Rocco, that was my name, Rocco. He says, Rocco, I want to go get some Carvel. Tell Joey to bring the car around. Louis has a sweet tooth. Everybody knows that. And once he makes up his mind that he wants something, you don't argue with him. So I call Joey to get the car, and the three of us head over to Queens to the Carvel over on Hillside Avenue for a Fudgy the Whale cake or some shit like that. But I had this feeling, like something wasn't right. And when we got in the car, I really started to get suspicious. You see, Louis always had me sit in the back with him, so if anyone tried to pull something, I could either take the guy out or take a bullet for him. And I'd do it too. I'd have taken a bullet for Louis without a thought. I swear on my mother's grave. That's how much I respected that man. So like I was saying, something wasn't right. I'm sitting up front with Joey behind the wheel, and Louie's in the back seat behind me. So, to make a long story short, 1 minute we're driving over the Queensboro Bridge, and the next, boom, everything goes black. I mean, it's like the lights just went out. Then the next thing I know, I see them dragging my dead ass across a field in the country somewhere. I'll tell you, it was like those after-death things you see on those shows, where somebody dies and comes back and tells what it was like. I'm watching all this happen from like 20 feet up in the air like I'm watching a movie. But it's no movie. That's really me down there, being dragged like a sack of potatoes across a fucking field. So as they're dragging me out onto this field, I start to see all these little, what do you call them? Pine trees. Or fir trees, or whatever the hell you want to call them. All these little baby trees in neat rows all over this field. Now, I remember that Louie's cousin Mike has a Christmas tree farm in upstate New York. He doesn't give two shits about Christmas or trees. It's just a money laundering business and a tax write-off for him. And of course, it's really Louie's farm because if you're in the mob, that's just how it works. So I'm thinking, okay, this must be Mike's tree place. So I'm watching all this, and I see Mike come out of the house with a couple of shovels. Then I see him and Joey dig up one of these little trees, and they put it on the side. Then they start digging a hole just my size. Now, I'm no dummy. I know what's going on. They're going to bury my ass out in this field the way they probably buried a dozen other guys. And I'm thinking to myself, they can't do this to me. I was always loyal to Louis. I love that son of a bitch. What the hell did he have to bump me off for? I wasn't just his bodyguard, I was his goddamn friend, for Christ's sake. So just as they throw my body in that hole, something comes over me. I'm looking at my sorry-ass body laying there in that hole, and quick as shit, I dive down into it like I'm diving into a swimming pool. 'Cause in my head, I'm thinking that if I could just get back to my body, I'll kind of wake up and show those bastards that they can't mess with Rocco. Well, it didn't work out that way. I dive in, and it feels like the biggest shock you can imagine goes through me. Let me tell you, it wasn't fun. But at least I'm back. But there's just one problem. Sure, I'm back in my body, but I don't wake up. I'm still dead. I don't feel nothing. I don't see nothing. But I can hear, so I know I'm there. The next thing I know, they're shoveling dirt on me. Then after that, I hear them digging a hole right over my head, and then I hear them tapping the dirt down. And I'm thinking, those bastards just put one of those little baby Christmas trees on my grave. But I gotta tell you, as pissed off as I was thinking, that's pretty damn smart. I mean, who the fuck would think to look for a dead guy in a field full of Christmas trees, right? So anyways, right after that, I hear their voices up there, all muffled on account of the dirt they threw on me. And I hear Louis say to somebody, "Nah, he didn't do nothing to me. I was just sick of him, that's all. Mike, go tell your son, Tony, to get in the car. He's my new bodyguard." Can you believe that bastard? I would have taken a bullet for him, and he does this to me? So after a while, I hear the car drive away, and that was that. After that, it got all quiet, and I kind of fell asleep for a while. Well, don't ask me how it happened. But one day, I start to notice that I could see again. First, it's just a little bit of light. Then it gets clearer and clearer until I could see that I'm in that same field where they buried me. But I'm not underground no more. I'm sitting on top of that field. It looks like it's early fall, and all those little Christmas trees that I saw when they were dragging me across the field are bigger now. Much bigger, like 5 or 6 feet tall. And then I take a look at myself, and I realize, holy shit, I'm one of those trees. Somehow, I'm one of those fucking Christmas trees. Now, the way I figure it, I guess when I dove back down into my body, that part of me, my spirit or soul or whatever the hell you want to call it, got sucked up into the tree that they planted on top of my grave. And after about 15 years, I kind of came to. So there I am, a friggin' Christmas tree stuck in a field on Mike's Christmas tree farm. Can you believe it? Now, as luck would have it, not too long after, a truck comes along and a bunch of guys gets out and they start cutting down trees. And as they're looking around for the best trees to pick, I see them going farther and farther away from me. Now, don't ask me what made me do this, but in my mind, I yelled out, "Hey, over here!" And one of the guys turns around real quick and looks in my direction. Now I'm thinking, holy crap, he heard me! The guy actually heard me! That's when I found out I can talk. I didn't want to scare the guy off, so I kept my trap shut, and sure enough, he comes over and calls to one of the guys, "Hey, how about this one? Looks like the nicest tree in the whole place." Now, I gotta pause my soliloquy for a minute to tell you that I felt kind of proud hearing him say that. I mean, he just said that I was the nicest tree in the whole damn tree farm. Nobody used to say things like that to me. Even when I was a kid, nobody ever said I was the best at anything. So, yeah, it made me feel good. Anyway, as they're walking over to me, I start thinking, what the hell did I just do? I mean, yeah, it was boring as shit being a tree, but at least I was alive. I didn't know what the hell would happen to me after they cut me down. Well, I was about to find out. Out comes the chainsaw, one quick slice, bada bing, bada boom, and the next thing I know, I'm laying on the ground. It didn't hurt or nothing, but I still didn't know what was going to happen to me. So they throw me in the back of the truck with all the other trees and we take off. And as they're driving, after a while I start to recognize the place. They're going to my old neighborhood. I see Vinny's Pizza Place, the skating rink, School 16, and sure enough, there's St. Anne's Church right down the street from where I used to live. They pull into a lot by the church, and they unload all the trees. Then after the guy there paid for them, the truck drives away, and I'm leaning up against a fence with about 100 other trees. Now, all that's going through my head is that I gotta get my ass the hell out of here. When I was a kid, I used to sell Christmas trees in Brooklyn. And do you know where the ones go that they don't sell? They bring them down to the lumber yard and they feed them into the chipper. That's what they do. The last thing I wanted was to end up in a pile of mulch in some guy's yard in Jersey. So that night, after the place closed for the night, I'm looking around and I'm thinking that I gotta find some way to get to the front of the lot so people can see me and take me home. I didn't have a plan beyond that. I just knew that I needed to get into somebody's house to figure things out. So I see a spot near the front gate, and as I'm looking at it, boom, I start moving. At first it was just a few inches, but then I kept looking at it, and after a while I could move a few feet in about an hour. Like I said, it takes a lot out of me, but I was determined. So eventually I ended up where you found me, and the rest is history. Why didn't the tree guy want me to buy you? Did you talk to him? That's the funny thing. I never said a word to him. I think he was just creeped out around me for some reason. Maybe it's because I always looked fresh cut. Even without being in water, I stayed fresh. Like I'm an evergreen. Hey, that's a good one, right? What about the needles? Oh, that's the story you gotta hear. You gotta hear this. Okay, like I was saying, I was desperate to get my tree ass out of there and go home with somebody, but people are so damn fussy. They take a look at me and complain that I was either too full or too big or too short. You know how it is. So one day, I was trying to get the attention of this old broad who was looking at trees. Something about her looked like she was the type to want a big, beautiful tree like me. Like I said, by now I knew I could talk, but I didn't want to call out to her. Still, I wanted to get her attention. So in my mind, I pictured myself giving her a little slap on the ass, you know? Just a little tap to get her to turn around. Well, the next thing I know, one of my needles goes shooting across the lot and hits the old lady right in her ass. And it sticks there. Oh my God, you should have seen the racket she was making. She's screaming and yelling and trying to reach around and pull it out of her ass. And I'm laughing out loud because I can't help it. But nobody knows it's me because everybody's running around trying to figure out what the hell she's yelling about. Well, the old lady finally yanks the needle out of her ass and runs the hell out of there. So that's how I found out that I can shoot my needles. Good story, huh? That night, after the place was closed, I practiced shooting them. I used to shoot guns, of course, so I know how to aim real good. And as I was practicing, I realized something. Not only could I shoot my needles really far, I could shoot a whole bunch of them at once. But check this out. As soon as a needle left my branch, another one grew right back again in its place. I swear to God, they grew right the fuck back like they never left. So I found that I could shoot as many of them as I want, and I'll never go bald. What do you think of that? Oh, and what's more, after about 20 seconds, they just kind of melt away like ice. So it's like they was never there. Isn't that something? So anyways, as the weeks went by, I was keeping track of the time, counting the days until Christmas, because I knew my days were numbered. And I almost gave up hope. But then you came along. And I gotta tell you, Grant, you saved my life. You hear me? You really did. And I'm indebted to you. Rocco, I really didn't do anything. I just bought a Christmas tree, and you were the nicest one there, so you see... No. Without you, I'd definitely be on my way to the chipper next week. But there's one thing I need you to do, and then I'll be out of your hair forever, okay? Sure, anything. Do you need me to take you back to the Christmas tree farm? Or maybe plant you in the woods somewhere? I know a nice place upstate that I'm sure you'd be real happy in. It's just across the... Nah, nothing like that. I need you to drive me over to Kingpin Louie's house. What? Are you kidding? I can't bring a Christmas tree to a mob boss. I'll get myself killed or something. Now listen, you gotta trust me. I know just what to do, and you're not gonna get in any danger, okay? I promise. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a promise from an ex-mob hitman who's now a Christmas tree. Hey, wait a minute. That hurt. You don't know me. Sure, I was into some bad shit when I was alive, but I never said I was a hitman, did I? I was just a friggin' bodyguard, and I never killed nobody. Scout's honor. But ask anybody. I'm a nice guy. Or at least I was. And, well, I still am. Only now I'm a nice tree, okay? Okay, I'm sorry, Rocco. I didn't mean it to come out that way. It's just that I'm concerned for my safety. And anyway, what good would it do for me to take you to Kingpin Louie's? What could you possibly get out of going over to his house? I'll tell you what I could get, what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get revenge. That's what. Revenge? Yeah, sweet revenge. The guy knocked me off for no reason, and now it's payback time. But I can't do it without you. Okay, listen, why don't I hire someone to take you over there, like a moving company? What are you, nuts? I don't have time to wait for some moving guys. We gotta go now. Like right now? Yeah, like this very minute. I got a plan, and it can't wait. Okay, as long as you promise I won't get hurt or anything. I swear on my great Uncle Mario's grave, God rest his soul. Now listen, all the crime families play nice with one another this time of year. They all send gifts to each other just to kiss each other's asses so nobody gets insulted. All you gotta do is bring me over to the gate in front of Kingpin Louie's house and leave me with the guards. Guards? Yeah, the guards, but don't worry. They're just a couple of goons who get paid to sit there and keep people out. Just drive up to the gate and tell them that you have a gift from Vinny the Eyebrow. Vinny the Eyebrow? Yeah, you don't know the guy? He's one of the biggest crime bosses in Brooklyn. I'm surprised you never heard of him. His real name is Vinny DiCostanza, but they call him that because if you rub him the wrong way, he looks at you and raises one eyebrow, and you're a dead man. It's like the evil eye. Oh, I got a funny story. One time Louie and Vinny was hanging out together at Louie's house, and I was there in the room with them on account of I'm Louie's bodyguard. All of a sudden, Vinny quick turns around and looks at me. He looks me right in the eye, then he raises one eyebrow. So I'm looking at him, probably with a look on my face like I'm going to shit my pants, and he's looking back at me. After a few seconds of looking at one another, he does it again, raises one eyebrow at me. Now by this time I'm thinking, I don't know what the hell I did, but I'm dead meat. He just gave me the evil eyebrow. Then all of a sudden, he puts his hand up to his eye and starts rubbing it. Then he turns to Louie and he says, "You got any eye drops? My allergies are killing me." Isn't that the kicker? He wasn't raising his eyebrow at me. He just had hay fever and his friggin' eye was bothering him. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But getting back to the plan. Oh yeah, the plan. You go up to the guys at the gate and you say, "Vinny DiCostanzo wishes to express his gratitude this holiday season for Louie's continued respect." Then say, "I hear the Brooklyn Dodgers are going to win the series this year." The Brooklyn Dodgers? But they're not even a team anymore. No shit, Sherlock. It's a code. A code? Yeah, a code. All the families use a code when they send the gifts so they know it's on the up and up. They all use the same code, and they haven't changed it in like 40 years. That's the code. So you drive up and say what I said, that Vinny DiCostanzo wishes to express his gratitude for Louie's respect this holiday season, then say, "I hear the Brooklyn Dodgers are going to win the series this year," and you're good to go. They're not going to allow anybody to pass the gate, so they'll take me out of your car and you just drive off. Well, it sounds easy, but what about you? Don't you worry about me. I'm a big tree. I could take care of myself. And once I shoot Louie with every needle I got, the bastard'll be dead and that'll be that. No, I mean, what'll happen to you afterward? What'll happen to me? I don't know, kid. I really don't know. And the way things turned out after they killed me, I really don't care. I'm going to end up in the chipper sooner or later. After that, it's in God's hands, you know? Now, come on. Let's get this show on the road. Getting Rocco out of the apartment was no easy task. When I bought him, the tree guy wrapped him in a mesh plastic cover so he was easy to get into the apartment. But I took that off when I brought him home, so now his branches were so full that he wouldn't fit through the door. I ended up wrapping him in a sheet that I secured with bungee cords, then dragged him out into the hallway. As I was dragging him, Rocco kept telling me to be careful, and when I pulled him into the elevator a little too quickly, he yelled, "Hey, easy on the merchandise here." A woman down the hallway opened her door and peered out at me, but I just waved and pressed the button to take us to the first floor. I left Rocco by the front door, then ran to get my Subaru from the parking space in the back of the apartment. I took the sheet off of him before I put him in the car because he said that they don't accept gifts that are wrapped. As I was loading him into the back of the car, he kept complaining that he was cold, so I made sure to turn the heat up once we were on our way. Rocco told me that Kingpin Louie's estate was in New Jersey, so I had a pretty long trip ahead of me. As we drove, Rocco talked non-stop. He told me things about his life before he was a tree, how he grew up in poverty and that his dad was an alcoholic and his mom was always fooling around with other guys. He said that he regretted getting into the mob, but swore that as tough a guy as he was, he never hurt anybody. He intimidated a lot of guys, threatened them even, but he said that he never hurt anyone. He also told me a lot of other things that I won't go into right now, so by the time we were on the street where Louie lived, I really felt like I knew Rocco, like he was a friend, someone I'd known my whole life. As I pulled up to the gate, I have to admit I was nervous as hell. It's not that I didn't believe Rocco when he said that I wouldn't get hurt. I trusted him. But the fact of the matter is, I was about to deliver a hitman, or a hit tree, to the top mob boss in the country. I pulled up to the gate, and it was just like Rocco said it would be. Two tough-looking guys were standing outside a security booth smoking cigarettes. As I approached, they both put their hands to their sides like they were reaching for their guns that were no doubt hidden under their coats. I rolled down the window and said in as calm a voice as I could muster up, Vinny DiCostanzo wishes to express his gratitude this holiday season for Louie's continued respect. I hear the Brooklyn Dodgers are going to win the series this year. Well, Rocco knew his stuff. As soon as I said this, the guys nodded at one another, then walked over to my car and looked in the back. One of them said, "Pop the hatchback, buddy. We'll take it from here." I opened the hatch, they took Rocco out, and after they closed it again, I drove off. As I was driving down the street, I looked in my rear-view mirror and saw them dragging Rocco over to the guardhouse. I didn't like the way they were handling him, but it wasn't their fault. They had no idea that he wasn't just some Christmas tree. As I drove a little farther, I could see that the front gate was open and that one of the guys was dragging Rocco down the driveway towards the house. By the time I reached the corner, I couldn't see him anymore. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I cried a little. I was sure going to miss the guy. On the way home, I stopped by the same Christmas tree lot where I had bought Rocco. Of course, it was closed now, but someone had put up a hand-drawn cardboard sign that read, "Free Christmas Trees." I pulled through the open gate, just as another car was leaving with a tree tied to their roof. My heart really wasn't into looking for another tree, but I parked the car and got out. I walked to the back of the lot where the Douglas firs were and picked one out. It was a nice tree, but it was no Rocco. I loaded it into the back of my car, then drove back to the apartment. By the time Michelle got home from work, it was in the stand, and she raved about what a beautiful tree it was. Did I tell her what I had just gone through? No, I didn't. I mean, would you have? The next day, Christmas Day, I was watching a football game when the local news channel broke in with a special announcement. On the screen was a photo of a smiling Kingpin Louie taken several years ago. The announcer said, "Mob boss Kingpin Louie was taken into custody last night after his 15-year-old daughter called police to report that her father was badly hurt. When police and paramedics arrived at the scene, they found Louie in his office lying in a pool of blood after being stabbed multiple times. FBI agents, who had been watching the estate for several months, used the opportunity to search the house. An FBI spokesperson said that the agents recovered an arsenal of weapons, illegal drugs, and several stolen paintings valued in the millions. They also confiscated computers, which they hope contain information that ties Louie to several murders. The 64-year-old mob boss is expected to make a full recovery, but he will remain in prison as the racketeering investigation is carried out. If found guilty, he will most likely spend the rest of his life behind bars." Rocco did it! And here I am, a year later, spending a very special Christmas with my wife, Michelle. We got married this past June, and we bought this house together. A big, sprawling Victorian with an in-ground swimming pool, a tennis court, and 6 acres of land. How could a lowly IT guy like me afford such a place? Well, I never told you what Rocco said to me in the car while we were on our way to Kingpin Louie's. He said that in addition to being Louie's bodyguard, he was also in charge of overseeing the finances of a dry cleaning business that Louie had in Chinatown. Rocco didn't work there. He just stopped by once a month to collect the money so he could deposit it in one of Louie's Swiss bank accounts. But the thing is, for more than 20 years, he had been skimming off the top of that business. Since it was a cash-only business, pocketing the money was easy. And since Louie never bothered to look at the business or the bank account, there was little chance that he'd ever find out about it. Rocco's plan was to retire from the mob in a few years, take the money, and go into hiding just in case Louie ever found out about it. But now you know that's not how it turned out. Rocco said that he had stashed the money in a self-storage unit in Queens, and that he hid the key to it under a rock in the Botanical Gardens. I didn't think that was the safest place to hide a key, but it was there when I went to find it. After retrieving the key, I paid a visit to that storage unit. The key fit, as I knew it would, but when I opened the door and turned the light on, I was surprised to see a room that was pretty much empty, except for 21 powder blue suitcases that were lined up against the back wall. I pulled one away from the wall, laid it down on the ground, and when I opened it, my jaw almost fell to the floor. The suitcase was jam-packed with stacks of money. I won't say how much was there, but to give you an idea, each stack contained 100 $100 bills. Now, if you don't want to do the math, I'll do it for you. In each stack was $10,000. The suitcase I opened held so many stacks that I had a hard time closing it again. And that was just one suitcase. There were 20 others, and every one was equally packed with stacks of $100 bills. I kept the suitcases in the storage unit until I figured out what to do with all the money. Sure, I could have turned it into the FBI or something, but what good would that do? After all, this was Rocco's money, and he wanted me to have it. It was his last wish. I eventually figured out a way to deposit the cash in a number of different banks all over the world, and I kept a hefty amount at home in a very secure safe for a rainy day. So, that's my story. I told you you probably wouldn't believe it, but it's true. Scout's honor. Oh, and there's just one more thing I forgot to mention. A few weeks after they announced that Kingpin Louie was arrested, I drove by his house again. By now, the excitement of the arrest had died down. Louie was still recovering in the hospital, and no one was allowed in the house, so it was dark when I drove by. The street was deserted, and police tape was crisscrossed over the gate. But just as I was about to drive away, I saw something hidden in the shadows next to the guardhouse. At first, I thought it was a policeman or an FBI agent waiting to catch intruders. But as I drove closer, I saw what it was. There, leaning up against the guardhouse, was... "Quit your yapping already and put a little more eggnog in my stand, will ya? We got some celebrating to do. And tell that beautiful wife of yours to get her ass out of bed and help with decorating me. It's Christmas Day, and I want to look my best. Oh, and turn on the TV. I think the Grinch is on. I love that friggin' show." You got it, boss. Merry Christmas, Rocco. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. A very Merry Christmas.